Hi everyone, it's Crystal from crystalscraftandstuff.blogspot.com, and this is part 2 of the Cricut Imagine series that I'm doing. And in this series here, this video here, we're just going to talk about the buttons on here, and then when you power it on, the buttons on the main screen and that. So, I had already went and powered mine on just to save some time for the video, because I am trying to keep all these videos like 10 minutes or under, just to make it easy, and it's just a lot easier that way. Okay, so our buttons on our actual Imagine. This is our power button. This is your stop. This is your play. Your play also acts like an enter button. Over here is your menu button. If you hit your menu button, it will bring you up to your menu screen, which we are looking at now. And these two buttons right here are your, they will do scroll. They'll scroll up and down for you. Now, if you hit your power button on, this is the screen that will bring you up to. This is our main menu screen. I'm going to zoom in so we can just get a better look at this. And leave my camera focus there. There we go. Okay, and it will tell you menu. So today's March 14th, 2011, and these are currently my Imagine is up to date. So we currently have 4 buttons on our screen: the print and cut, print paper, settings, and about. In this video here, I'm just going to talk about these 2 buttons down here, and maybe have time for the top 2. If not, I'll do the 3rd video on the top 2 buttons. Okay, the about button. If you click on that, it'll give you your version. Anytime you're doing updates in that and you're on the message board or anything like that, and they're asking you what version do you have on here, you will go into that you'll go into the about button, and that will tell you what your version is. It's right here. This is your end user agreement, or end user licensing agreement. Read and press OK. Your warranty. Okay, now you can get out of here by 2 ways. You can click up here to close, or you can just press your menu button. Next is the settings. So you tap on your settings button, and this is what it'll bring you up to. So we're going to start over here with this box over here. This box right here, if you click on the top one, this is your print and cut, your print only, or your cut only. I want to give you a little tip for this section right here. If you go through and you're doing a project and you want to cut only, you'll go through and you press cut only, and that's all it'll do. It will not print, it'll just cut it. Now, say you come back and you want to do another project, and in that project you have to print and cut. Make sure you go back into your settings and change it to print and cut, because if you don't, it will not, it will just cut only. So make sure you always have that on your right setting. This button right here is your quality button. You can choose from best or draft. I always keep it on best. I only use draft if I'm trying to see if this color would match up with something. But that's very rarely. I always use best. Here's your paper: glossy, matte, or printable vinyl. Right here tells you your ink levels. Top one's color, the bottom one's black, and mine's saying that they're okay. The next button to that is your clean print heads. If you want to clean your print heads, you just click on that and follow directions, and it'll clean your print heads for you. Now, this top box over in this corner is your border preference. You can leave it on the default border if you want. If not, you can go through. You can change it to the thickness, or you can customize it. The thickness, of course, is you can only just change the thickness of it, which is right in here. You hit your plus button or your minus button to change that. Customize, you get to change the thickness and the color of it. If you click on that, it'll take you into your color wheel, and in here you can either just move your stylus over the color wheel, just pick your color, or if you wanted to, you could actually go down here and use your RBG codes and press your up or down for that, and that will take you. You can get it that way as well. Okay, and then once you have it done, just hit apply. I'm hitting cancel. Down here is your calibration. The top one's the screen. The screen calibration is just just like the Gypsy. If you're familiar with the Gypsy, how you calibrate that screen is how you calibrate this screen. There'll be a blue, if you click on that, a blue screen will pop up with these little plus signs, and you just have to tap in the middle of them wherever they pop up on the screen. Right here is your blade calibration. You click on that and it'll tell you have to use a 12 by 12 piece of paper on the mat in order to get that blade calibration. There's your print calibration. Just click on that and it'll tell you the print heads need to be aligned for optimal color reproduction. Again, with that, it has to be on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Here's your default settings. With the default settings, I'm sure everybody knows, but for someone who doesn't know, that takes it back to the manufacturer settings. If you're having problems with it, your calibration's messed up in that, and you want to go back to what your machine came to you originally, you just click on default settings and follow directions on there. Now, anytime you make changes in these screens, you want to hit the apply button. I don't want no changes made on here, so I'm just going to hit my cancel to take me back to my menu. So, that takes care of the bottom two buttons. The top two buttons is, I think I got enough time to talk about the print paper. If you click on the print paper button, this right here will pull up all if you wanted to print your paper, to print out a pattern on it, you just click on that and it'll bring up all your patterns that you have on that cartridge. So, like for this one, if I wanted to choose that one, that's all you got to do, and you can just drag back and forth to find the one you want, and then you would hit next, and it will bring you up to the screen that will tell you about edge-to-edge printing. With this, anytime you're doing a full 12 by 12 sheet of paper, or any kind of paper that you're doing a pattern with, you can choose your overspray on here. If you do it right up there, you click off, medium, or high. Basically, it just says on the screen that edge-to-edge printing will overspray. With overspray, will leave ink on your cutting mat. To avoid getting the ink inside your machine, be sure to clean the mat thoroughly after each edge-to-edge print where overspray is enabled. And then you just click next and it'll take you into the print side of that to get that printed. There's your settings. Again, it'll take you to your settings. Okay. Same thing, if you wanted to print something on, say just you want to choose your color, you go into here and that brings up your color wheel, just like we were talking about with your border preference. So that's how those three buttons work. I just hit my main menu button, take me back to my main menu. And in the next video, we're going to talk about the print and cut. I'll just go over briefly with this one. This is where you'll do all your designing at in this button here. It'll bring up all your images that you have on your Imagine cartridge, all your images that you have on your Classic cartridges, and the images that are stored into your Imagine. I believe a lot of people is referring to them as the stock photos, or the stock images. And the next video will get really into detail with this on choosing your images and printing them and layering them. So I just want to say on this one, let's just say we want to cut out this image, print and cut this image out. You would choose it. Oops, where'd I go? Right here. You choose that image. I tapped on it to highlight it, and we want to add it up here to our queue. So we just put the plus sign, and as you see, it brought it up there. Then if we wanted to print it, we just hit next. It'll bring us up on our mat, and of course I think it's real small. I think I got set like 1 inch. It's right up in here. And then, if you're okay with everything, then you could hit next and you can start printing. In the next video, we'll talk about this screen here. And we'll also talk about the other screen, you know, more in depth about your buttons in here and how to layer them and everything like that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and stop right here, and we'll pick up on the next video. Will be part 3. We'll pick up where we left off. Again, I'm trying to keep these videos about 10 minutes. I figured that's be good enough if someone's just looking for quick information and it's not too long. Okay, everyone, so if you want to go ahead and follow along, please go ahead on to part 3 of the Cricut Imagine series, and we'll get that started. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.